More than 1,300 flights have had to be cancelled or diverted after Heathrow Airport announced it would close until midnight tonight. It's after a fire at a nearby electrical substation caused a power outage. Heathrow is Europe's busiest airport, and its closure could disrupt the journeys of hundreds of thousands of passengers. So, what can you do if you've been affected? Well, Joe Rhodes from Which Travel is with me now. Joe, firstly, what is the advice for anybody due to travel in or out of Heathrow today?
Well, the advice is not to go to the airport because that is closed, as you said, to at least midnight. And you really need to be in touch with your airline if at all possible. If you still want to travel, basically, most flights, whether you're traveling with an EU or UK airline, or if you're departing from a UK or EU airport, then you will be basically eligible for assistance. There won't be any compensation because this is classed as an extraordinary circumstance outside of the airline's control. But yes, that assistance still applies. And if you do not wish to travel, you can get a full refund. But if you're stuck, if you're stranded, then we're really advising passengers not to accept that refund, to ask to be rerouted instead. And that means your airline must get you to your destination as quickly as possible, even if that means buying you a ticket with a rival airline.
And as you say, there is some assistance available. If people are stuck in different areas, they're spending money on things like food or accommodation in the meantime. What should they do in those situations?
Again, yes, the airline has a duty of care towards you. That means any food, meals that you require. Also, if you need overnight accommodation because you're stranded, they also need to pay for that. The difficulty can be with a wide-scale disruption like this, it can be really difficult to get hold of your airline. So while, ideally they'd be giving you vouchers for that, you may have to make your own arrangements and then get the costs reimbursed later on. So the advice is just keep costs to a minimum, don't be too spendy with fancy hotels or champagne dinners. Just keep it, functional and practical, and make sure you keep all your receipts so that you can claim that back later on.
Keep it simple. And what is the advice then if a flight is cancelled altogether?
Basically, again, it's the same. It's that rerouting. If you do you need to travel, then it's still those rules apply. You still can be rerouted, and you can get a refund if, say, you don't want to go. You're due to fly out on holiday, and actually your plans are so disrupted that you no longer want to go ahead. Then you can go for that refund option, and that might suit you.
And as you said, these are exceptional circumstances. Does that change the eligibility of consumers for any different types of compensation?
That completely depends on what kind of holiday they've booked. So if it's a package holiday, there's more protection there and more options for consumers. Also, consider your travel insurance as well. It may be, have a look, get in touch with your provider and find out exactly how much cover you have for this kind of disruption. That should be able to help you as well with other sort of out-of-pocket expenses, say airport parking or car hire, or maybe accommodation that you've already booked abroad that you're now not able to get to.
And if somebody is finding it really difficult to get in touch with their airline, as you said, they're all extremely busy today, do they have any other options?
Just to make their own arrangements, as I said, and make sure to keep receipts. The CAA have said today that they're expecting airlines to reimburse their passengers promptly. So that probably is the best option for people.
If the situation comes up where somebody has been diverted to a country where they may not have the applicable visa, what is their situation?
So most of the time, if possible, the airline will try and keep you on the plane to prevent that being a problem, or there'll be some sort of holding area in the airport which won't require a visa to be there. If basically the passenger shouldn't have any extra expense as a result of this. If they have an extended stay in that country, just let somebody know that you don't have the appropriate visa, and that should be sorted for you. But as I say, there'll probably be measures in place to make sure that that actually isn't a requirement for you being there while you're in transit.
Lots of really useful advice there for anybody who may be caught up in this situation today. Thank you so much, Jo Rhodes from Which
Thank
Travel.
you.